beautiful people, and welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Jennifer Diamond, and I live a whole food, plant-exclusive, sofas-free, gluten-free lifestyle for health and well-being. And today, let's talk hand immersion blenders. Okay, so there's a lot of buzz going on about immersion blenders, and I actually had one, and then I was gifted another one, and I just thought I wanted to compare them and really understand them. And so I actually have three here that I thought I would jump on and share and try to figure out like what these are and why are they so different in price and how are they made and what is the best one to have. So I just wanted to let you know that I have absolutely no affiliation with any of these companies. I either purchased these products with my own money or it was gifted by a family member to me. And so I just thought I would bring you along and we could just figure out some of the mystery questions about immersion blenders and maybe help you. I know it helped me kind of try to figure out what the differences are and maybe help with coming up with the product that works best for you. So I'm only using the ones that I currently have. There are so many out there, but I originally got this Cuisinart brand, and I'm gonna go over it. And then for a gift, I got the Vitamix, which is a newer one. And in learning about them, I heard and learned about All-Clad, and they have one as well. And so I decided to get it so that we could have another one to add into the mix. Vitamix is another brand that I heard about, and it comes from Switzerland or is made in Switzerland. I'm not really sure. I don't have that one, but the reason why I thought I would bring it up, if anybody wanted to look into it, if I find a link, I can put it in the show notes. But I thought it was interesting because it doesn't have a bell, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. And it had 4 different blade changing, interchangeable blades. So anyways, let's get started with this. Okay, so I originally found this Cuisinart. Here's the box, and I bought it at our local Costco well over a year ago. I think they still sell it, and I would guess that it's about $49, $50. At the time, it was on sale for like $27. So I figured, oh my gosh, like it's worth giving it a try. And so I'm gonna just show you what comes in this box, that, everything it offered, and then we'll go over some other things that talk about it. Okay, so actually here is the handheld part, and it comes in 2 parts, and this goes in like that, and there's a button on the back right here that is the release, and for whatever reason I'm not lining it up correctly. I got it in when I didn't press it. Okay, anyways, I have some notes here that I'm going to be reading, just if you see me looking down, just so that I make sure that I share correctly with you. But what's interesting about this one, the dimensions are that it is 16 inches high, and it's about a pound, 1.8 pounds, so just under 2 pounds for the whole thing together. This one is 400 watts. That's the speed, the power of the motor that's in here. And this has 5 speeds, and we're going to go over that. It's got an LED light, and it shows the 5 speeds by lighting up 1 if you're on speed 1, and 2 if you're on speed 2, and so on. So it has 5 speeds. This shaft part here is 5 inches, and you know, the stainless steel blade is right in here, and it has this blade right here. It's sharp, so you want to be careful. You can see that okay. This one comes with a 3-year limited warranty, and you would just get it and fill out the form with the papers that come with it to activate the warranty, and it came with a recipe book. They're talking about a comfort handle, so you can hold it here, and they've got these 2 switches. So this is on top. This, let's see, this one on the top adjusts the speed. But in order to do anything once it's plugged in, you have to unlock it. So you actually hold that button the whole time, and then it allows you, let's do it this way so you can see. So if I don't hold it, it doesn't let me. If I hold it, it lets me. So when you submerge it, you're going to want to unlock it and have the speed. So you're going to hold them both. And that's how this one operates. And then when you are done, you just release them both. What's really interesting to me is that on their paper here, it says that they have a detachable blending shaft, which is this second piece right here at the bottom. And then they have the blade cover. Well, this is the blade cover. But they don't say what the material is of the blade cover. They do, however, say that there is a stainless steel blending blade. So I felt like that was really unclear. Is this all stainless steel? Is it not? Then what is this other part of the material? So I actually called Cuisinart, and they basically didn't know what the material is, and I said, well, could it be aluminum? Is it stainless steel? Like, what is it? And the woman that I spoke with said, it's probably aluminum. And I said, well, can you find out? And she had me on hold. Long story short, she said she couldn't find any information that spoke specifically between the difference of this bell and shaft versus the inside where the blade is, regarding what the material is, and that she was gonna put in like some kind of a claim or something to have someone call me back, and nobody ever called me back. And so it's been a good couple of weeks. So I'm not crazy about that, and I really wish that they had contacted me to let me know for sure what kind of material this is. Now, it also came with a lot of fun things. It came with this right here, which is the 3-cup beaker, and it does have some measurements. They're hard to read. They're kind of in the plastic, whatever this material is made out of. It doesn't say if it's BPA free or anything. It just calls it the 3-cup beaker, and it is a plastic type of material. And then it also has a detachable gearbox, which is what they call this, and a whisk. And the whisk fits in here, and I've never used the whisk. And then this would attach to the shaft, or in place of the shaft, to the body of the motor, so that you could use it, okay? And then it also comes with a 4-cup chopper, and I'm gonna open that and show you, and it has a little blade in here as well. Now, I didn't ask them what this blade was, but I'm gonna assume that probably all their blades are the same, and so you would put that in there. I'm looking to see if it has any measurements on here. I don't see any measurements on here specifically. And then you just snap it into place. And then what you would do is you would attach it like that, plug it in, and then whatever you have in the bottom, maybe you have some fresh garlic or onion or, you know, I don't know, that you can mix it right in here. And that's really nice. And I mean, for goodness sake, for $27, what do you want? So, and that's not all. They also have this little cover, and this cover is for storage so that, you know, you don't want to touch the blade anytime, and you want to make sure that safety, you know, is in place. So you have this little blade cover, and then voila, they have this beautiful little, it's not little actually, it's a nice size bag for storage, and you can fit everything right in your Cuisinart and go from there. So I am gonna, and now, you know, that just pulls apart. And there you go. So you have the storage bag with all your goodies it came with. We know about how this, I should put this in there for now, and we know about how this is supposed to get set up, even though I'm having trouble putting it in there. And then it's got the plug-in. Now some of these, oh my goodness, I wonder what's going on here. But anyways, some of these come cordless, and this particular one is with a cord. So I'm going to set this one aside, and we're going to move on to some of the other ones. Okay, so here is the next one that I have, and it's the Vitamix. And you know, I personally really love the Vitamix company. I have a Vitamix blender that I use all the time for smoothies and all kinds of stuff. And so I felt like this was a really exciting gift for me to receive. And so here's the box. I'm going to talk about the whole thing. This particular Vitamix dimensions, this one is 18 inches high, and this one attaches by just twisting it. You twist it, but you have to hear a clicking. If you just put it on there and it doesn't click, it's not on. So you want to make sure to hear the clicking, and then you're all set. And this one is pretty tall, like I said. This one weighs, this is kind of a heavy one. It weighs just under 3 pounds, 2.9 pounds. And whereas the Cuisinart was 1.8, so this is pretty heavy. This one is the strongest wattage at 625. It's got some power. And so that's really great. It has 5 speeds, and the speed things, they're LED also, they're right here on the top. And let me just move these out of the way for a minute. So the difference with this one is on the top here, this is the power button. And so you hold the power button. This one down here is to these little lines, whoops, right here, match these lines. And when it's plugged in, they light up, and that's the speed. So you have the variable speed. Well, because I was used to the Cuisinart where I hold both, I learned you don't need to hold both. So you just put on the power, and then you can click this. I'm gonna see if I can show you. You can click this to change the speed. But once you have the speed, you just want to rest your hand. You don't want to hold it and click it, because at first I did that, and then I kept noticing up here it was going from speed 1, 2, 3, 4, and I thought, uh-oh. So it's just something to get used to, but it is really nice because it's one-handed, and you just, you know, can change the speed and the power all at once. This one does not have any kind of special blade cover, but it does come with a little plastic piece that, you know, you can just use for storage if you want to protect the blade. Now, I'm going to take it apart because I would like to, for a moment, talk about the shaft and the bell. And also, I didn't mention, but this, as you see, is also corded. You can get some that are not corded. Now, this shaft material is stainless steel. The whole thing is stainless steel on the shaft. And as well as check out this blade. This blade is also a stainless steel blade, but instead of having the one across, we have two blades. So it's got a higher wattage of speed and power, as well as an extra blade for chopping, blending. That's really wonderful. Now, what is this that's, you know, kind of part of the bell? What is this material? I was really curious. Now there's, I couldn't really find exactly what it was, so I called Vitamix and I asked them, could you tell me about this? And I learned that this is a glass-filled nylon. This is a glass-filled nylon. And it is also BPA free. They decided to go with the glass-filled nylon because they were concerned about scratches at the bottom of your pan or pot. And so you don't have to worry about scratches. Now, this one is really great because it comes with a 3-year full warranty for parts, performance, and labor, and 2-way shipping. So that's pretty nice. They stand behind their products. This one was a little more expensive, and obviously, than the Cuisinart. Now, I got it in the set, and I'm going to talk about the set, and the set costs $199 at Costco. Now, they sell this just individually on Amazon, and I think it was for around $120, but it doesn't have anything else with it. It was just the actual immersion blender. Okay, so it came with a storage bag, which is really nice. It's a zipper, and it's some kind of a fabric or material. I don't know what this is, and it's got their logo on it. It's got a handle, and it's kind of thin, so you can easily fit it in a lot of places for storage. And I have it unzipped right here just to show you the zipper. It's got some pockets in case you wanted to store something in there, and then it's got all of the pieces would fit in here, which they also have a whisk attachment, which is really nice. And so all of these pieces will fit nicely in here, and that is great. So you have that. Now, when you're not storing it, in addition to the bag, the whisk, and a place to put the actual immersion blender, it also came with a couple of these containers. So we have this one right here, which you just take the power part and you wait for the click, and then like the other one, you have, I think this is a 4-cup, and you can do chopper and anything that you need. It's nice. I'm going to open it up so we can look inside at the blade. And I have never opened this, so bear with me. This is new for me. I have used the hand part, but I haven't used any of the attachments. And so, wow. So this blade, this is really nice. It's got, I'm going to just set that down there for a minute. It's got three blades. And I forgot what the other one, I think the other one just had 2. So anyways, nice, and it kind of reminds me of their logo, which I think is the point. And it does say Vitamix on here. I was looking to see if it says stainless steel. I don't see it engraved in here, but I would guess since the parts are stainless steel and the other blade is, that this one would be too. And so I guess what you just do is, I wonder how you snap this back in. Kind of bounces up. Let's try this way. Aha, there we go. So it just snaps back into place, and then you have that. If you were going to use the whisk also, wait for the click. There you go, ready to go. It's really nice, feels really good. There is no additional way to detach this, so you want to just keep it like that. And then, of course, they have this like smoothie container, which is really nice, and it's got measurements on it, 4 cups, 32 ounces. The idea is that you can probably, wait for the click, set it down in there, blend it, and then you have the lid, store, and you can be on your way. So what's really kind of fun, you know, it's a family-owned business, Vitamix. They're in Ohio, and they added this in to the box, and it just says, welcome to the family. They have a rewards program, I understand, and you scan your receipt, and then you can get earnings by exploring blending tips. They can give you new recipes, and then you can actually redeem your points for awesome rewards. It says like Vitamix accessories. So that's fun. They encourage you to connect with them, ask questions, share your creations, and become, they say, part of the Vitamix community. And they have their phone number, email, and all kinds of social media connections. I kind of think that's nice that they, you know, they're wanting to stay connected. So anyhow, I thought that was kind of fun. None of these should be put in the dishwasher. And none of the motor hand part, this top part, should ever be submerged. You wipe it down just with a damp cloth and dry it. And I hand wash the bell and this shaft here, and you just be really careful with the blades. Some people, I think also, just like you do with the Vitamix, you fill it with water and you put a little soap and then you turn it on and you can clean it that way. You could do the same thing with this. You can take a glass container or whatever container that's clean, put some water in it, and you can blend it to clean the bottom part. And so that's kind of fun. They also have another little Start Here booklet, and in it, it talks about the way that they recommend that you add your liquids if you're making a smoothie. So if you're using protein powders or seasonings and, you know, frozen or ice or green leafies and fruits and vegetables, they tell you as a tip which way to load it for the best blending. So I also like that as well. So let's talk about All-Clad. Okay, so our last comparison is the All-Clad, and the All-Clad didn't come with any extra pieces in this particular one. It was just the immersion blender, which is fine because that's really what I was looking for in the first place. And so a little bit about it, when it also twists, and you got to wait for that click. And on the back here, it shows a lock and unlock little, you know, helpful key. So this one stands pretty tall, just slightly under the Vitamix at 17.25 inches in height. And this one weighs a little bit less than the Vitamix. It's right at the 2-pound mark, and so it's just a tad more than the Cuisinart. So it weighs 2 pounds, and this one is pretty powerful as well, 600 watts. And this one is a little bit different with the speed. So first of all, there's a power button at the bottom here of these 2 buttons, and this is how you hold it. And what you would do is you only push the power button, and if you wanted to increase turbo speed with the speed that you're on while you're holding this, then you would also hold this second button, which is a turbo power. So that is kind of cool. Now, this is different because the speeds are also up here on the top. So it's hard to do with one hand. I could do it by twisting this, or you can use the other hand to twist it. Now, it doesn't say speed 1, 2, 3 or have the little lights. It just shows, it just shows on this side a plus and a minus. So you can turn it and adjust it. But if you adjust it ahead of time, let's say you wanted to go in the middle and you put your bell in the immerse it in liquid, then you click the button, right? And it's going. You don't have to necessarily change the speed at the top while you're cooking. You could give it some turbo power. So this is a little bit different and unique. It's got a really nice feeling to it. And so I really like this one as well. Now, this is also stainless steel. The whole shaft is stainless steel, the bell is stainless steel, and the blade is stainless steel. And if you see here, this is just one blade across, but what I've noticed is this bell is wider than the other two, and we'll take a look at that in a few minutes. This one has a 2-year manufacturing defect warranty. And like I said earlier, with all of them, you would want to register whatever product you have to make sure that you have the warranty in case you need to reach out to them at another time. This one was $120. And so for the one, the one piece, it's one of our most expensive ones, even though the other ones were actually, the Vitamix was more expensive, but you got all of the storage unit and all the attachments, whereas this one just comes how it is. Now, we went over the turbo button, we went over the power button, the blender body, the detachable shaft, and the speed selection and the blender blade. So that is pretty much what the All-Clad offers. Now, I just want to grab the other ones again. I just want to show you the height, next to each other. Let's see, I'm going to get out of the way so you can see that these two are pretty close. This one's a little bit shorter, but you look also at this shaft part and see how high these two are compared to this one. And why would that be important? Well, I guess if you're immersing something in a big pot of soup or something, you may want to have that in case it's hot or you don't want it to splatter on you. Now, the Vitamix and the Cuisinart seem to have a similar bell size. Let's see if you can see that. Whereas the All-Clad is much bigger. And we're going to just take a quick look at that. So look at that. So you have different surface area. Now the one that I didn't get, that I mentioned earlier, is interesting because it doesn't have a bell shaft at all. It just has a blade. So that's why I wanted to mention it in case you wanted to look it up. I just thought, wow, that's just different than anything I've ever seen. And so subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when I post new videos. Have you used any of these? Are you looking for an immersion blender? What about the one that I don't have that I mentioned? Is anyone familiar with that? Please leave a comment below. Let's chat about it. I'd love to hear what is important to you. Did I help you with some maybe things that you didn't think about regarding the immersion blenders? Are you good with the cord? They do have the Wi-Fi no cord ones, but for me, I don't want to charge anything else and I don't want more Wi-Fi, but do you like that? And why do you like that? I'd love to hear about it. And also, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Like it. All right, so now let's actually put these to the test and check them out. Okay, so for our test, I just made a pot of split pea soup from Chef AJ's cookbook, and I'm gonna link me making this soup. I just recently did it in another video if you're curious about this soup. So what I went ahead and did was I cooked it in the Instant Pot and I put a third in this glass bowl so that you could see, and we're gonna start mixing this one up with the Cuisinart first. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. And the thing about these immersion blenders is you do not, I'm gonna move this a little bit out of our way so that we can really see it. You do not wanna start it out here. You do not wanna lift the bell outside of the liquid because it can splatter through these little holes and then you could get burned. But you do want to have a motion, a little bit of an up and down motion without coming out of the liquid so that it can bring in new food or whatever it is you're grinding up. You can move it around. And so let's give this a try. So I'm going to just place it in the water and I'm going to put the unlock. Whoa. Interesting. I haven't used this one in a while, but I guess if you hold it all the way, it puts it on the speed all the way. And if you hold less, the speed is less. I thought it was a click, so I made a mistake earlier when I shared that with you. So anyhow, I'm gonna hold the unlock button and I'm gonna gently put pressure depending on where I want my LED speed to be. And here we go. Now I notice that there is a suction happening, and so I wouldn't want to yank it because what if the suction, pulls really hard and then I splatter myself? So maybe I need to release it. So let's just, whoa, see what I mean? I don't know. Oh my goodness. Now, you can see that there are pieces of food that are kind of sticking out of this little hole. And so, I would want to take that out of there. We can look at how the blade, there's nothing really stuck to it. There is food on the top of the bell a little bit. And, you want to be careful because it's plugged in. I just flicked that off. But I think for the most part, this is a nice puree. And $27, but again, the unknown factor about what the material is. We have the one stainless steel blade and the 400 watts. So let's change this out. I'm going to move this. Let me unplug it actually. Okay, so here is our Cuisinart. Just want you to see how the blending looks. All right, so let's set this one aside and try our next one. Okay, so we're ready now to do our next one. We're gonna go ahead and use the Vitamix. I'm gonna take the cover off of that and plug it in, and we'll be ready to go. Same idea with the motion. You want to be able to move it up and down just a little bit. Be careful with the hot. You don't want to take it out of the bowl. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and push the power button on, and I just want to show you that just even plugging it in, it lights up here. If I hit the button for speed, you can see that it goes up even before I push the power, which is nice. So I'm gonna start it on low, and I wanna be careful not to push this if I don't wanna change it, because it'll change. And just hold the top unlock start button. Here we go. Now there is a suction, but it is not as strong as the other one. I can move it around, and I do try to tilt it a little bit so that if it did splatter, it would splatter away from me. I can stop it and move it around a little bit. It seems much easier. I can feel that the bottom isn't scraping anything. It feels pretty good. I'm gonna put a little more speed to this. I'm gonna go on speed 3. Now, I'm going to pull it out, and we're going to take a look at if there's anything that got caught in here. And wow, there's a lot of food that got caught in there. And I have used this a few times, and especially if I have green leafy vegetables like spinach, I find that it gets caught a lot in there. So I'm just going to use this tool to kind of pull it out. So that's one thing. This is much more clogged than the other one. And look at, you can see that there's a lot more food in here as well. So let me try to blend that up again. I'm going to go, let's see. Oops. Okay, I'm going back to speed 3. All right, and that looks even creamier, but still, again, we have some stuff that got caught in this part here. I'm just going to scrape it out again. See, so, and I did it one more time just because I wanted to see if I could get it to not have anything stuck in here, and those same pieces keep getting stuck in here. But I'm going to call this blended. It looks really great, and I think that that's just something that we should be aware of. I'm wondering if it's doing that because of this glass nylon material. It's kind of a thicker material than a stainless steel, and I wonder if that bulkiness is causing it to catch. So I'm going to unplug this, and we're going to move the goodies into a jar and move on to our next one. Okay, and so this is the Vitamix one. You can see the creaminess, that it's pretty liquefied and blended well. All right, let me get ready for our last one, the All-Clad. Okay, so I'm going to plug in the All-Clad. I've got our third sample here, and let's get blending. I'm excited to play around with the turbo power, so this will be fun. So we're just gonna, wow, okay, so as soon as you hit that button, then you're on your way. I'm gonna go ahead and set it to a low setting to start with. I'm gonna put the whole bell in there, submerge the whole bell into the liquid, and give it a whirl. Whoa, even on the lowest setting, there is quite a bit of suction, but I can just kind of move it around a little bit, lifting it up and down a little bit. Wow. I'm going to try the turbo. Ready? It's on speed 1, lowest setting. Whoa. Huh. Maybe it doesn't go turbo there. Oh, there we go. Ready? Whoa, baby. Okay, so what I just learned is with this one, you don't have to hold you don't have to hold the power and the turbo. It's one or the other. And that is a little bit, I'll show you what speed I had it on. It's not quite, I moved it up, so it's not quite at the 0. It's right here. It's not quite halfway. I'm going to turn it back down and try the turbo. I mean, there you go. That's pretty impressive if you ask me. I'm almost nervous to turn it up to 3 or 4 or 5. And this one is the middle as far as the wattage. This was 600 versus the Vitamix, which was 625. And the Cuisinart, if you remember, was 400 watts. The other thing I didn't mention about the one that I don't have, the one that we talked about earlier, the wattage was 200. So that was interesting. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. Let's take a look at this. Now, wow, there's nothing stuck in the bell. Interesting. Okay, well, that's good. And there's the blade, what it looks like. There is some extra that, you know, collects on the top. I think that's with all of them. I almost feel like I'd like to challenge this a little bit and add a little bit more of some onion or something and celery. I kind of want to see if I can get it stuck in there, which just because the other ones did, I don't know if that's really fair, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, is there anything stuck in there? Tiny bit, so not really. Let's see, what do I see here? Little thing, let's look at the blade. Huh, pretty good. What do you think? I don't know. I'm gonna make sure this is blended and move it over and we'll go from there. Okay, don't lift it up. That's what will happen if you lift it up. God, I got excited with all of the turbocharge and power. And you know what? There is a little bit that got stuck in here. So I feel like that's, you know, that's maybe what happens when it's not blended all the way. I don't know. But just to let you see this, I'm going to unplug this. Okay, and here is our All-Clad. So we've got our All-Clad, we've got our Vitamix, and we have our Cuisinart. So I'm going to go through and try to show you. I feel like the Cuisinart, maybe I could have blended it more, but they all did a pretty good job. And this one seems a little creamier from the Vitamix, you know, and I didn't measure the time, right? I mean, there's, you know, so, and then this one is the All-Clad, and it actually seems the creamiest. So there you have it. And now it's just like, what is important to you? Is it the material, the blade, the speed, the price, the wattage? So many things out there. And I just thought that it would be fun to share this with you. And, you know, I'm just going to take a little taste of each of them to see if there's any kind of difference in the texture with, you know, how ground up the pieces are. So here we go. Wow, that is so creamy and smooth. Wow. Almost too smooth and creamy if you wanted it to have pieces in it. So that would be blended up less. Maybe don't use the turbo. This one, let's see. There are a few more little fibers in there. This with that one. And then the very first one. Also has some fibers in there. So, you know, there you go. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Don't forget, eat your greens. Bye-bye, everyone.